Hello everyone, welcome to this real life trading video. My name is Brad Reed and I am a real life trader, and I would like to encourage you to be good. And by good, I mean get out of debt, achieve your financial dreams, and give generously to your community. Today is August 16th, 2019, and I'm going to be back trading AMD for some day trade time frames. I traded in on August 14th and took a small loss, but it should have been a much bigger win. So I'm going to back trade it a couple of times on a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, and a 5 minute chart. And yeah, then I'll see how I did. So replay mode, and I want to go to that day. So just to verify, yeah, that's August 12th. As far as these lines go, let's see, I can go one more candle there. I know it's going to gap down. The previous day's candle was bearish, and when it's bearish, it gaps down. That's a retest gap. So I draw the, I use an orange line for the pivot. I drew this orange line at 31.48 because I wanted it to gap below this candle on August 8th. And then I noticed some support over here based on these candles in early July. So I drew a pivot line at 30.73. And then based on this candle on June 26, I drew another pivot line or final support at 29.78. I do see this 100 simple moving average at 29.52. So let's go ahead and draw that one. And let me make that the color of the 100 daily simple moving average. And I will also add in 31.19, which is the daily 50 exponential moving average, and that's kind of that purpley color. Groovy. So let's switch it to a 1 minute chart. And here we go. So it opened and traded down. Yeah, so if that were a bullish candle, I'd consider taking a breakdown. It did gap down, so my bias is bearish. I'm looking for a bearish setup. Not bad if someone wants to just go ahead and put an entry there and a protective stop there. If it breaks through that support, it should continue. But let's see. So 2 bearish candles in a row and then a bullish candle. So that is a pretty good signal right there. It bounced off of that support. So if it comes down and breaks through the low of that candle, I think it will continue. So the low of that candle is 30.70. So I'm going to put my entry at 30.67. I'll make that a bearish stop limit. And the high of this candle is 31.06. So I'll make that 31.07 for my protective stop. 30.67 by 31.07, that's 40 cents of risk, so 80 cents of reward will be 29.87, 29.87 where 2R is. And since that's just a little bit above that support, yeah, I'll just take it all if I hit 2R. All right, push the button. Ooh, I like that little indecision candle. It means that any weak bears may be exiting, some bulls may be getting in. So if it breaks through my green line, then the bulls will be selling to close out their position, and any weak bears may be getting back in by selling to open, which of course all of that just pushes it down towards my target. All right, so by this time frame, I would be triggered in. Even if I got skipped on this first candle, would have got filled on the second one. I'm about to have this moving average in my favor. I'm feeling pretty good. All right, so a little bit of a retest. A little bit of a wiggle here. And now, let's see. All right, so I got this moving average down. It's not really breaking down. I'm going to go ahead and lower my stop at least a little bit. The high of this rotation over here is 31. So I'm going to move it to 31.01. And now my rule after this is once I move the protection stop one time, I will not lower it again until I get a very clear rollover. So I like all of this. Awesome. So I like that breakdown there. Ooh, that breakdown's not very convincing. All right, that one is. this point, I'm going to go ahead and lower this stop. No, I'm not, because I just said I'm not going to lower it again until I get another very clear rollover. So here it comes back up to retest. That's starting to get pretty scary, but that is a rollover. So probably clicked maybe 1 or 2 candles more than I needed to, but 30.94 is where my stop is now. I'm also going to take at least a little bit right in here, 2 pennies off the low of that candle, just in case it bounces off of this support here that it just showed me was at 30.32. So I will take, that's about an R. I can't decide between 10 and 20%, so let's just call it 15%. And clicky, that's a higher low, that's not good, but I cannot lower my stop until I have a clear rollover, which it may have just given me. Yeah, so this thing not looking extraordinarily bearish. I'm going to go ahead and lower my protective stop to the high through here, which is right above that pivot. Basically, my thought is if it goes up from here, that will be a higher low. And if I lose, I'm going to lose extremely small on this trade. But if I win, I might win big. All right. Actually, you know what, at this point, I'm just going to hit play and let it go as fast as it wants. All right, so in this case, it stopped me out for a small loss, and I hit pause, but it's continuing. So let's switch time frames, and we'll just start this all over again. Yes, I want to exit that mode. Let me clean up my lines. And if I were trading this in real life, I probably would not have been on the 1 minute chart for that long. So replay. Let's try it on the 2 minute chart. And trading view is still loading. Show me that next candle. All right, now we're moving. There we go. All right, so I accidentally clicked and got, what is that, 3 candles? So on this time frame, I have 3 bearish candles in a row. If, again, I like the breakdown of the support. If I get a move significantly lower, maybe like below 30.50, let's just say that. If I get below 30.50, then I'll take a limit sell position. All right, did that touch 30.50? It did not. Decent little wiggle there, but I don't think I like the reward risk at this point. All right, so there's the pullback. Well, that's definitely a lower high. Big volume on that candle. Let's just see what it would look like if I put a protective stop at 30.94. And an entry below this high volume bullish candle. So 30.50 would be my entry for a bearish stop limit. All right, so 44 cents of risk means 88 cents of reward. 88 cents of reward puts me at 29.67 for 2R. So this is probably one of those times where I would definitely want to take half at 29.80. And depending on what it does at 29.80, I'll either take the rest at 2R or I'll push it down to 2 pennies above the daily 100 simple moving average. Okay, click, click, click. Let's see, that would have triggered me in. And that's a nice breakdown. Let's break the low of the day and then I'll consider lowering the stop. Okay, that broke the low of the day. So I need to lower the stop. At this point, I'd be switching over to the 5-minute chart. I mean, we are at 11 a.m. Eastern time, meaning the market's been open for an hour and a half, and a 2-minute chart just doesn't have the kind of signals that I would want. So let's just see if I can go ahead and do that and switch over to the 5-minute. Okay, there we are. I do have that 5-minute 10 moving average way down there. So in that case, I'd probably be lower than that. I have that stop down kind of where this thing started, which would be 30.79. And some of y'all are probably thinking, Brad, you know what it's going to do. How, why aren't you just placing your orders where you know you're going to win? And when I'm back trading like this, I'm applying my trading plan. So I'm following the rules that my trading plan says to do to test them and how I can apply them. So it's not me just trying to throw orders out there and play pretend that I'm some kind of great stock trader. This is me practicing my rules and perhaps even tweaking my rules for my trading plan if I need to. All right, so at this point, I am really, really close to 2R. I've got a huge win. I'm taking some risk off the table, and the debate now becomes, do I just put my protective stop down here? And if I get trailed out, it'll be a nice win. Or do I leave my protective stop up here somewhere and maybe take a partial, maybe 50%? When I'm this close to the target, it put in a bullish candle, which looks like it could be bouncing off of support. This candle right there, that could be exhaustion volume. So I'd go ahead and lower that stop, and I would get trailed out for about an hour and a half. Now, of course, the question is, what would happen if I had stayed in? And of course, it hits target 1 and target 2. And does it go all the way down to the 100, or does it bounce? Looks like it bounced. Oh, no, it did go down and touch it. So again, that right there, that right there, that right there. And that's why I have all these lines on my chart so I can see where it is. Okay, so if I had done my entry on a 2-minute, I would have had a nice win. And let's try this again. This time I'm going to trade it based on a 3-minute chart. So replay that candle, please. Let's go to a 3-minute time frame. And we have our opening candle. Bearish candle with a long lower wick. So would I have put my entry right below it? I'm not totally in love with the gap, so I don't think that I would. But once again, if it's going to break hard below that support, I'll catch it on a limit fill of some flavor. A while ago, I said 30.50. In this view, I think I'd want it to be lower than that before I do my limit fill. That hit 30.54, but now I got a bullish candle, a little bit of buying coming in. I don't know if I'd still do it yet. That's some nice. Okay, with that consolidation, with that 10 moving average coming down, then I would go ahead and have an order. On this trade, my order would be 30.51, bearish stop limit, and I think I used that number maybe on the past example. not bearish limit sell, bearish stop limit. And then protective stop up here at 3107. Stop. So 3051 by 3107 is a 56-cent risk. 56 cents of risk would be $1.12 in reward. $1.12 in reward puts 2R at 29.39. I don't know if I'm taking this trade. Definitely taking at least half right there. I don't think I'm going to take this trade. The reward risk is just not what I want. Let's see if I get a better signal. You know, if I want a better risk reward, all I do is I take this and I put it up here. 3 pennies underneath that, so 30.67. And be kind of one of those things that if I were watching this live, I don't think this would get filled, but if it did, hey, I'm in and I like it. So I'm back to 30.67. I've used that number today as well. 40 cents of risk, 80 cents of reward. 80 cents of reward puts to our 29.87. 29.87. Okay, right there above that pivot, so that's a great target. Now let's play with lowering these stops. Okay, that's an evening star reversal. That's very clearly a lower high, so I'm going to lower the stop right now to 30.94. And we are at 10 o'clock into the morning. So market's been open for 30 minutes. I might still be on a 3-minute chart, but I'm also want to know where that 5-minute 10 moving average is. Okay, so based on this picture, I really want to wait for that 5-minute 10 moving average. There it is. And once again, I'm not lowering my stop till I have a very clear lower high, which that is. So 30.86. Because that high right there is 30.85. And all right, there is a big breakdown. Now, if I were watching this one, at least for right now, I feel like I would lower my stop to the high of this, so 30.63. And everything looks bearish, but it's so close to that target. I'm taking something, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bearish candles in a row. You know, I pushed those buttons. I would have done it on this one. And if it's down that far, I'm probably just taking 10% there at 1R. If I did wait for this second candle, I would be taking 20% at market, but let's go ahead and see what happens. Okay, my 2R target was 29.87. The low of that candle is 29.87. So I probably did not get filled. There's the bullish candle. Oh, wait, what's the low of that one? That's 29.85, so I did get filled. So that's a 1.8R win. And that was entering on the 3-minute chart. So that was entering on the 3-minute and then switching over to the 5-minute to manage the trade. So let's do this all over again. And oh, nice. I can just stay here in replay mode. I'm going to stay on the 5-minute and just trade it on the 5-minute. Okay, so big, ugly bearish candle right down to where I had drawn a support. Broke the support. 4 candles in a row. I'm probably considering a sell limit again at this point. I like the volume on that candle. See how there's increased volume here? That means if it does roll over again, I believe it would continue. So 30.65 there, 30.60, that's interesting. 3062 would be a bearish stop limit entry. Protective stop up here at 3107. So this case, it's a 45-cent risk. 45 cents of risk would be 90 cents of reward. 90 cents of reward puts Tor at 29.72. So a little bit below that pivot. Once again, I would be taking half at 29.80, 2 pennies above where I drew that support in case it bounces there. And yeah, I think I'm putting my final target down here at 29.54 now. You know what? No, I'm not. If I'm trading this in real life, I'm just going to take all right there. All right, so there I'm in. I have that 5-minute 10 moving average in my favor, and I have traded this one before. So now I have my clear rollover with the lower high. I'm either lowering it to 30.94 or 30.85. When I traded this one live on August 14th, I panicked. I didn't panic. While it was doing this, I said, hey, if it makes a higher low, I'm going to drop the stop. And it made the higher low, so I moved the stop to just behind that 5-minute 10 moving average, and I got wicked out right there only to watch this thing go careening downwards, which is why I am redoing this trade. So now I'm trying to figure out, where do I go? It's 10:50 in the morning, 10:45 at this point. I'm lowering it some. One of my rules is once I get to 11, I'm looking for this 5-minute 20 moving average. So I think I hope I would be patient enough trading this live to put it at 30.94. And from here on out, I would only lower the stop with that 5-minute 20. Of course, it does its big run. Once again, I am lowering this stop to the top of this guy at 30.63. And let me assume that maybe I walked away from my computer. I'm probably lowering the stop all the way down to there, just to lock it in, because with that many bearish candles in a row, it very likely could have a pretty strong bounce up and then just go sideways. So, okay, so I do get trailed out. And just so y'all can see what I'm talking about, it did trade to the target, and then it came back up and really never went back down. So this is why when a stock gets to a target, I like to lock it in and close it out. So this is an example of when I slam the stop down super tight and get trailed out for a nice win. That's 1.6, 1.7 R. What if I instead, let me take this out. I know what some of these candles are going to do, so I'm just going to leave those lines there. All right, so here's where it starts the drop off. So that broke the low of the day. I'm 4 bearish candles in a row. And out of the last 7 candles, only one is bullish. So at this point, you know what? I'm not lowering the stop at this point, but I am going to do a market exit at 10%. And then now it approaches my support and is giving me a bounce signal. I already took 10%. Sometimes, let's see, sometimes I can do like a 50% stop. So I can exit half my shares. Where's that 50% stop? Now, where would I put it? Big volume down there, but the volume really started actually right about where it is. The big volume came in on this candle, so 30.40. You know what? That's so. Yeah, I'm probably just making that a complete stop at this point. So it came up. Was that enough of a rollover for me to lower my stop again? That certainly is. Well, that hit my target, so I'm out of the trade. So let me go back and trade this on a 3-minute chart once again. All right, big breakdown there. There's the consolidation. Again, I'm on the 3-minute chart. An entry at 30.51 with a stop at 31.07 does not give me a good reward risk ratio, so I waited. There's the breakdown. So once again, I'm coming in with a limit sell. 3 pennies below that guy, so 30.67. Bearish stop limit. Protective stop at the high of the day, which is, 31.06. So my protective stop at 31.07. And that puts 2R at 29.87. And candle, candle, candle. All right, there's my rollover. So I lower my stop to 1 penny above that, so 30.94. And candle, 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 candle. Scary, getting ready to get stopped out. Yeah, it rolls over some more. So that is a clear rollover, so I am lowering my stop to 30.86. And I know what it does on a 5-minute chart, so I'm not going to practice that again. What if I just stayed on a 3-minute chart? All right, so probably I'm lowering the stop to 30.63. All of this sounds familiar. And I'm exiting some down here. And that hits my target, but probably didn't fill. And then that's just a little bit of a wiggle. What if I wait for this to see what it does with the 5-minute 10 moving average? Okay, there it touches it. There's a bearish candle. At this point, what would happen? So again, trying to be patient, Paytient. If I lower to 30.13, do I hit 2R or do I get trailed out here? If it hits 2R, this probably ends up being a 1.8R, 1.7R win. If I get trailed out at this new, much lower protective stop, it ends up being about a 1.4R win, maybe 1.5. So it's all a balance of reward risk. The thing I definitely do not want to do is it gets so close to my target that I get trailed out there. You know what? Looking at that, that did hit 29.85, so that one did hit my 2R target. So I'm out for a 2R, no, 1.8R win because I exited 10% there. Just for kicks, let's keep hitting this. Yeah, okay, so that would have gone down. So that lower stop, that defense would have been nice. Okay, so that's trading everything on a 3-minute chart. Let's do it on a 2-minute chart. Tell you what, that line may not be there. That line may not be there. Pretty sure some flavor of those lines are going to be there. So there's the 2-minute. I'm not getting in. I'm not getting in. Would that have been enough of a break for me to go and throw in a sell limit right in there? I don't know. I don't know. Again, I'm liking a breakdown here, but I've already done the math. That reward risk is not good. So I'm waiting. There's the breakdown. Yep, now I'm doing a sell limit entry right here. Come up, I get filled. There is a rollover. So this comes down to 30.94. And clicky, clicky, clicky. It rolls. If I'm trading this on a 2-minute chart, the question is, do I lower the stop to there? I'm going to do what my boy Dean Chance calls a soft stop. Robert Falco does this. Stephen King does this sometimes too. So I'm going to draw this stop here. If I get a close above this stop, then I'll just do a market exit. But if I get a wick through there without the close, then I will move a hard stop, meaning the normal buy stop market in my broker to the top of the wick. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I did get a close. So I would have market exited right here and again taken a small loss. So it's interesting that when I'm on the 2-minute, when I'm on these smaller time frames late in the morning, so this would have been at 10:24 a.m. The market had been open almost a full hour. I am reacting to signals that turn out to be not significant. Then, of course, maybe I need to evaluate, is that a clear rollover? But if I switch it to a 3-minute time frame, that doesn't look like a big rollover. If I'm on a 5-minute time frame, which I definitely would be after about 10:15, it doesn't look like a rollover at all. It just looks like a roll down, then the rollover. So I'd have my stop there. All right, one more time on a 1-minute chart, and then I will end the video. Oh, that's a very interesting signal. I'm taking the breakdown there if I can get a good reward risk. Again, bearish gap bounced off that support. So yeah, 3107, 3167. Gee, I don't know. Is it going to fill? Am I going to get triggered in? Oh, wow. So surprised. Okay. Wiggling, wiggling. Probably going to lower my stop because it's not breaking down like I would have wanted. 3101. Yep. It is 9:41. So the market's only been open 11 minutes. I'm not switching to a larger time frame yet. Okay, there's a pretty decent sized breakdown. So at this point, I am switching to a larger time frame because on a 1-minute chart, I'm going to want to lower the stop to the top of this guy. So I would lower my stop to 30.92, and I know I'm going to get trailed out for loss. But if I put it on a 3-minute chart, it does not look like the rollover. So I would not change my stop until that candle. You know what? I said I was going to trade it all on the 1 minute. I already traded on the 1 minute, right? All the way through, and I got trailed out for a loss. So this time I'm going to do my entry on a 1 minute, lower that to 30.94. But now that I'm on the larger time frame, I've already done this one about 3 times. So there's another rollover. So I lower it again. 30.86. And then there's a breakdown. So now I'm taking a market, taking some kind of market exit there just to make sure that when I lower the stop to break even, if it reverses here and hits my stop, I at least get something. And there it goes down, and that's the candle that hit my target. Cool, folks. Thanks for watching this video. I appreciate it. If you want more videos like this, come over to www.reallifetrading.com, where we have free educational videos like this one of some of these concepts were seemed very advanced to you. Check out our beginner section. And yeah, enjoy, drop us a note. Thank you so much. And as always, trade on logic, not on hope. Have a good one.